The new best PvP fire build for level 160. Hello everybody, it's Liam here and welcome to today's video on the channel. And today's video we'll be talking about the new best fire build for 160, as you guys could tell on the title and the thumbnail. And in today's video, as always, we have a new meta change from KingsIsle and the developers. Basically, if you do not know, shadow rating actually works now, so it's kind of a stat you might want to chase, and you really should chase in general. If you are a newer viewer here, I'd recommend at least a minimum one piece of shad gear, if not 2 pieces of shad gear. Going above 2 pieces is a little bit excessive, but you're definitely going to want at least 1 piece, and 2 is pretty good as well, just as a general rule and statement. And as I said at the start here, this is going to be a max PvP, like, meta fire build. You know, this won't be including any wards. It will be including pins. And obviously, just like a regular setup that is pretty darn good and can get you some pretty high rank. Now, without further ado, y'all, let's get right into this video. So we're going to start off with the stats. So we're sitting at about 9,740 health. Now, you can get a bit more. I am missing a couple of health jewels here, so you will have closer to 9,800 health after you get your better jewels and stuff like that. So pretty solid, not bad for a fire. You're at the damage cap as well, so that's really cool. Decent resist, and then I have a pin to myth and ice right now. I would recommend pinning to myth and balance. However, I do not believe I have a balance resist pin on me at the moment, unfortunately. So you're definitely... Oh, I do. I lied. Never mind. So yeah, I just had a bug where I literally couldn't socket my balance resist pin, actually. But yeah, definitely get this myth and balance resist pin right here. 63 to balance and 64 to myth. That will help you out a lot. So decent resist, really good pins to the 2 meta schools, really good damage, decent health, perfect accuracy, decent crit, decent block as well, 56 pierce, which is a lot, and then you got about 70% pip conserve, perfect pips, decent arch mastery, and obviously almost 100 shad rating, which is equivalent to 1 piece, which is pretty dandy and pretty darn good. Now, what we are running to make this build work, guys, is the Aeon hat. We all know and love this piece of gear from Novus, so definitely get this. Throw on that resist myth pin or balance resist pin. Again, you can get that from the Dasan duelist towards the end of Novus, so definitely get that piece and that pin. Next up, you're going to want the fire robe of the nullity. Now, this robe is really good for fire. The only bad part is your health is like a lot lower than like Aeon and Mire robe, as you can see right here. But the shads, the damage, and the pierce are just so freaking good. And the resist isn't even bad either. And the accuracy, just a really solid robe. You do have to raid to get this one. If you do not have any raid gear in this video, I'd recommend using the Mire coat and then swapping to the Void boots as an alternative. But Aeon hat, Nullity robe, then I have the Mire boots as well, with again that other shield pin to balance and myth we're gonna want. I have the raid wand. It is the 151, but the 161 for fire basically did not get upgraded. I don't know why, but it's basically the same stats as 160, so keep that in mind. I think it's like a little bit more pip conserve or something, but it's not really worth upgrading. But definitely get that wand if you can. I have the Eternal theme for a fire as well. We're already at the damage cap, right? So might as well get a bit extra, you know, a bit extra block rating and a bit extra health to tank. We have Eternal amulets. The new one is not bad from the pack, but I personally think Eternal is better. You know, I think having that extra bit of health and pip conserve really goes a long way, in my opinion. Not to mention, a fire dispel item card is always going to be helpful in a mirror matchup. Aeon ring, obviously there's nothing better for every school but maybe life. Then I have the classic, you know, double mighty breaker pet on a dark pact pet. Again, if you do not have access to raids, I would recommend making the Lord of Summer pet, which is this bad boy right here. He gives a pretty solid 35 bubble item card, as you can see. Then for my mount, I believe I am running the Fire Gulcher. Now, if you do not have the Fire Gulcher, that is okay. You can run a Clockwork Courser instead. I do not have my noties off. Sorry about that. Thank you for the sub. But yeah, I would recommend just swapping the Gulcher out for a Clockwork Courser and then swapping to the Aeon Wand if you do not have the Fire Gulcher, but you have the Pierce one. That also is a really, really good build as well, but I prefer this one personally, in my opinion. Then next up, we have the 160 Eternal deck. So you're probably going to tell, wow, this is actually a build that isn't full Aeon. Yeah, it's pretty diverse, which is pretty cool, but you're going to want this deck because you get a lot of block rating. You know, you're going to want that block rating since you're giving up like 100 here on the robe. Right, so you definitely want to get that Eternal deck if you can, and you get a lot of pip conserve as well, and the flat resist socket, which is extremely helpful and it means a lot on a fire. But yeah, that's the build, guys. Again, I'll just quickly go over what to swap out if you are not a raid player, or sorry, if you do not have the Melody Fire robe. I'd recommend running Aeon with the Mire robe, and then the Void boots, and then obviously, you know, you can go from here and like swap out to like the Aeon wand, stuff like that, and then your stats are actually, you know, your resist is a lot higher, still pretty good stats. You really only lose out on a bit of shad, and you know, like 100 critical, so this isn't bad either. But yeah, the best build definitely is gonna be behind raids. Unfortunately, you know, the Nightmare and the Aeon gear, as good as they are, you know, since KingsIsle updated shadow rating, you have to have shad pieces now. You can't just run pack gear and Novus gear anymore like the previous meta, because you'll just get out-shaded and therefore out-damaged, and then, well, you'll die. So, this gear, unfortunately, like Aeon, Mire, just isn't that great anymore. Can you win with it? Yeah, absolutely. Is it gonna get you to high ranks? No, probably not, you know. So if you're like really casual, you just want to go in and, you know, maybe set up a gambit and play for fun at recruit, you probably don't need this raid gear. You know, if you just want to goof around, have okay gear, have fun, go for a gambit, you don't need this best gear at all, is what I'm saying. But if you want to rank up, definitely get that original build I showed y'all. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you made it this far, leave a like rating and sub. Let me know what you guys want to see next on the channel. I'm thinking balance or death, probably. But yeah, I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, y'all.